right, boys and girls, for this lesson you're going to take out your ELA grade 1 book and we're going to open to start on page 61. So we're going to be talking about writing a how-to today. So look at this picture and tell how the children can make their sandwiches. They're using different ingredients, they're putting things together. So in this lesson we're going to learn how to write a how-to. So turn your page. Before we start with our how-to writing, we're going to learn some basics about different types of words in our writing. So on this page, we're going to talk about words with nouns. So in your book, follow along with me. An adjective describes a noun. An article is an adjective that points out a noun. So a, and the are articles. This, that, these, and those are adjectives that point out nouns too. So let me show you some sentence examples. I saw an orange coat. Or cat, excuse me. I saw an orange cat. The cat was in a tree. This cat was climbing that tree. These kittens cannot climb those trees. So the words underlined are the adjectives and articles. So in this part, we're going to do this part together. I can't write in this book, so I'm going to take my piece of paper and put it on top. Follow along with me. All right. So in this part, we're going to circle the article. So we're going to circle the article that completes each sentence. So what I'm going to do for this, boys and girls, is I'm going to read the entire sentence with both options, and I'm going to see which one makes the most sense. Just like in your reading, if you skip over a word, you try to put in a word that makes sense. So number 1, please help me carry these books. Okay, I think that makes sense. Let's try the other option. Please help me carry this books. That doesn't sound right. I think it's these. Please help me carry these. I'm just going to write it in here to help Miss Roth remember. These books. Number 2, have you ever seen an elephant? Okay, that kind of makes sense. Let's try the other option. Have you ever seen an elephant? Oh, an elephant makes more sense, so I'm going to circle an. Have you ever seen an elephant? Now, boys and girls, I want you to try number 3, 4, and 5. So read the entire sentence and try both options and see which one sounds the best. Perfect. So after you do those, right now just pause the video, do these 3 examples, and we're going to move on to the next page. All right, on this page, we're going to learn about words that link. So this is a really long word. It says a preposition, so that's a type of word. A preposition links a noun with another word in a sentence. It can tell when or where. So this is an example of when a preposition uses when. I brush my teeth after dinner. So after is our preposition. This one shows where. I hang my coat behind the door. So behind is a preposition telling where we hang our coat. So in this section, I'm going to put my piece of paper right here so I can write along with you. In this section, we're going to write a preposition, just one of these words that links the noun to complete each sentence. So I'm going to do the first 2 examples, and then I want you to try it on your own for number 3 and 4. So again, I'm going to read with both options. So I'm going to read the entire sentence with both options of our prepositions. So I put on my socks before my shoes. Or I put on my socks after my shoes. First, let me think of when I put on my socks. I don't put them on after my shoes. That'd be silly. I put on my socks before my shoes. If I put socks on after my shoes, I'm going to have some weird looking shoes. All right, so that's our preposition, before. Next, for number 2, the bird flew above my head. Okay, I think that makes sense. Let's try the other option. The bird flew under my head. How could a bird fly under my head? My neck's there. It must be above. The bird flew above my head. So I'm going to write above. Perfect. I'm just going to circle so I remember which one I used. Now for number 3 and 4, I want you to read the entire sentence with both options and see which preposition you can put in the middle of these 2 sentences. Then pause the video, and next we're going to learn about writing and how-to.
So now we're going to talk about our how-to piece. And today our book has given us an example on how to make peanut butter and jelly. This is a great example because you have to gather the things you need and think about what to do in order to end up with a sandwich. Otherwise, things can get very messy. So let's see how they started it. They gave it a title, Peanut Butter and Jelly. Things you need: peanut butter, jelly, 2 slices of bread, and a knife. Then they talk about what to do. Step 1, they say first. That's awesome because we always say first when we're listing our things to do. Step 1, first, spread peanut butter on 1 slice of bread. Do the same thing with the 2nd slice of bread. Step 2, next, spread jelly on 1 of the peanut butter slices. The peanut butter keeps the jelly away from the bread so it doesn't get soggy. Step 3, last, put the 2 pieces of bread together. What an interesting how-to list. I like that they told me first, next, and last, along with the numbers, just in case I forget what to do in the order. Now let's see what the book asks us to do. It has us come over to the how-to steps. It lists the steps in order. We're going to write the steps of this how-to in order. What does that mean? So I'm going to grab my paper and we're going to find out what was step 1. Let's look back at their list and find step 1. I remember that in step 1 they used the word first. So I can match the number or I can look for the word first. They said, I'm only going to write the first few words and then you can finish copying the rest. First, spread peanut butter. And I'm just copying right from the list. And I'm going to stop there so that you don't have to watch me copy the whole thing, but you should pause the video and finish copying step 1. Then we're going to move on to step 2. Step 2 is what happens next. So let's look for that one that says next. There it is, and it's next to the 2. So we're going to write next, spread jelly. And I'm again just copying right from their list because they already told me how to do this. Spread jelly on. You should pause the video and continue on with writing that step. Now we're going to go to step 3. This is the last step, so I'm going to look for the word last in their how-to list. First, next, last. Step 3 says, last, put the 2 pieces of bread together. Copy that into your book too. Then read it back to make sure your steps match their steps before we move on. Now that we finished copying their example how-to, we're going to try one more together on page 66. So, in the book today, they said, Carly wants to tell how to make a snack. She lists her snack ideas. Then she circles the idea she liked best. So let's look at Carly's list. She liked ants on a log, which is celery with raisins on peanut butter, ham and cheese roll-ups, and fruit salad. Then they said she circled the idea that she liked, so she must be going to write about ants on a log. Next, Carly lists the steps in order. She draws a line under each thing she needs. There's that step 1, cut into pieces. Wash celery. Oh, I see a line. She must need celery for this. Step 2, spread peanut butter on pieces. There's another line. She must need peanut butter too. And step 3, put raisins on peanut butter. There's that last line. She must need raisins, peanut butter, and celery. So Carly went through and she listed everything that she needed to do to make her ants on the log snack. She kept it nice and simple and only talked about what she had to do in order to get the snack. Now when you go to page 67, they're going to have you try it. So you're going to write a how-to that tells how to make something to eat. We're going to list 2 ideas and circle which one we like best. So try and brainstorm at home. What are some snacks that you like to eat? For right now, I'm just going to talk about how to make a Lunchable. I really like the pizza Lunchables, so I'm going to talk about that one first. I'm not going to write anything down, so just listen carefully and then think about your own. When you make a pizza Lunchable, you list your steps in order, and I would draw a line under each thing I need.
Okay, so for a Lunchable pizza, when I open up the packaging, what are some of the things I see inside? Well, I see the crust. I need crust for a pizza. I also see cheese. Oh, and I also have sauce. So when I'm thinking about those 3 things, I'm going to break those into 3 steps. For step 1, I would take the crust and put it flat on the table. And I'll probably put it over a piece of paper towel. Then next, I would take the sauce packet, rip it open, and drizzle it all over that crust and spread it around. And then third, I would take the final item, the cheese, and sprinkle a lot of cheese on top and maybe get some extra cheese because Miss Roth loves cheese. So I would break those down into 3 steps. And remember, I would underline the things I would need. So after I would write my step, I would underline crust, then I would underline sauce, and then I would underline cheese. So at home right now, pause the video, think about your favorite snacks at home, list the 3 steps you would need to make it, and underline the 3 things you would need. All right, boys and girls, so you're going to turn the page now. So we just did our practice page over here. We're going to turn the page to 68, and we're going to now write a how-to. Yay! So let's look at Carly's how-to piece that she did. So Carly looks at her how-to steps. She uses them to write her how-to. So first she has her title, ants on a log. Then she goes to things you need. She needs celery, peanut butter, and raisins, and it looks like she made it into a list by using commas. 1 comma, 2 commas. Next, she does what you do. So she has her steps listed, 1, 2, 3, and then she lists each step. So first, cut it into pieces 3 inches long. Wash the celery first. Awesome. So she had actually a couple steps in there. Number 2, spread peanut butter in the celery groove. This is your log. And 3, place raisins on the peanut butter. Wow, she listed a lot of steps and she added details to her steps. Now, boys and girls, on this side, you're going to try to transfer your brainstorming page and write your own how-to. So Miss Roth can't write in this book, so I'm going to bring up a piece of paper. And on this piece of paper, I broke up what we're going to need for our how-to. So first, we're going to need a title. So my title would go right in this space here. Next, I would need the things you need. So I wrote things you need, and I listed 1, 2, 3 things with my commas to separate my list. Next, what you do. So I wrote what you do and listed steps 1, 2, and 3. So right now, pause the video and write this down so you are ready to start your how-to. All right, boys and girls, so I wrote the first 2 parts of my how-to. I did my title and the things you need. So my title is Pizza Lunchable, because that's what I am talking about. And the things you need are crust, sauce, and cheese. And I didn't know how to spell these words, so I used my spelling strategies and stretched them out. So I stretched out crust, sauce, and cheese. So next, what I am going to do is I'm going to go to what you do, and I'm going to list my 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. All right, so after I finished my title, the things you need, I've moved on to what you do. So I laid out my 3 steps, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to read you what I wrote, and then next I'm going to talk about it with a partner. So next to number 1, first, open the Lunchable and take out the crust. 2, open the sauce and spread it on the crust. 3, last, sprinkle the cheese on the pizza. Enjoy! All right, boys and girls, so you're going to turn to the page to page 70, and this part's called Partner Review. So Carly read her how-to about ants on a log to a partner, and our partner gave her ideas to make it better. So these are the 3 things that we're looking for. The how-to lists all the things you need, the how-to lists the steps in order, and the how-to has details to explain things. On this page, we're going to look for these 3 things, and my partner today, Miss Funk, is going to help me with my writing to make sure I included these 3 things. If you have an adult with you, you can grab them and read your how-to to them. So, here is my how-to, Pizza Lunchables. So, the how-to lists all the things you need. What do you think, Miss Funk?
Well, I see you included crust, sauce, and cheese. So you did a great job providing me information with all the pieces. I want you to think about what will you use to spread that sauce, though.
Oh, I might use the packet that the sauce comes in.
That could work.
Great.
Now the next part, let's see, did you list your steps in order? You opened the Lunchable and took out the crust. You opened the sauce and spread it on the crust. And you lastly sprinkled the cheese on the pizza. You did a great job telling me what comes first, next, and last. Think about including that word next so that I know for sure that's the second step, because sometimes that number won't be there.
Oh, that's a great idea, Miss Funk.
The how-to has details to explain the steps. You told me to open the Lunchable and take out the crust. You told me to open the sauce and to spread it on the crust. And you used the word sprinkle to describe how you're going to put the cheese on the pizza. That was a wonderful job giving me very descriptive words to tell me what to do. I want you to think about including that word about the packet for how you're going to spread the sauce.
Oh, great ideas. I'm so happy you're my partner, Miss Funk. So again, boys and girls, pause the video, grab an adult if they're near you, and read your how-to to them and go through these 3 things. So after Miss Funk and I talked about my writing, I'm going to turn the page, and this page says make it even better. So I'm going to think about the ideas that Miss Funk gave to me, and I'm going to go through and revise and edit my work before I make my final copy on this page. So let's go through my writing one more time. Pizza Lunchable, I have my title, things you need, crust, sauce, and cheese. And I've stretched these words out the best I can. What you do. First, open the Lunchable and take out the crust. Ooh, I know I need a period here. Let me add that in. Step 2. I remember Miss Funk was talking about adding a transition word next. So I'm going to use this little thing called a caret that lets me add a word to my writing. It's going to be really tiny, boys and girls, so squint your eyes. All right, so next, comma, open the sauce and spread it on the crust. She told me that I need to say what I'm going to spread it with. So next, open the sauce and spread it on the crust. Gonna take out that period with the sauce packet. Sauce packet. Perfect. Next, open the sauce and spread it on the crust with the sauce packet. Awesome. Step 3, last, sprinkle the cheese on the pizza. Enjoy. So we talked about, and I edited all the things that Miss Funk talked about. I also went through and added punctuation marks where I needed them. Next, what I'm going to do, boys and girls, is I'm going to get a brand new piece of paper, and I'm going to move on to make a final copy. That just means I'm going to rewrite my work really neatly, and that way I won't have all these little X's and little carets in here. So it'll just be a beautiful piece of writing, and I can also add a picture. So you try it right now.